I came to my family's nursing home in disguise, but I discovered that whenever an elderly person mentioned wanting to go home, the caregivers would find every excuse to interrupt. They never gave the seniors a chance to speak. At the time I didn't notice anything wrong. Then I asked the elderly how they were doing in the home. To my surprise, one of them got unusually emotional. She kept insisting she was very well taken care of, said the caregivers treated them like their own parents. I thought it was because I built such a good nursing home that the elderly were moved. Then I brought one of them to the new dorm building I spent millions on last year. But the moment we stepped in, she led me to a filthy, messy basement. The sight before me was horrifying. I immediately asked why they were living here, when I had built them a brand new dorm. An old man next to me gave a bitter smile, and told me those good places were only for the nursing home management. It turned out that all these years, the leadership had been pocketing the millions I donated annually. They even colluded with the inspection team from the parent company. Every time there was a review, the director would send the elderly outside for a walk to cover up the truth. Only then did I realize that the charity I funded was a complete scam. Just then a caregiver burst in. She was helping a disabled senior get dressed, and violently threw the old man into his wheelchair. I also noticed the clothes hadn't even been washed. I was so furious my scalp went numb. Next, the caregiver brought in a few elders wearing clean clothes. She yelled at them, telling them to quickly take off the outfits. I immediately understood the nursing home's open house was all staged. Those clean clothes were just a temporary disguise. I was beyond angry, but I couldn't reveal my identity until I had proof. After the caregiver left, I asked the elderly why they didn't tell their children what was happening. That's when I learned it was easy to get in but hard to get out. To leave the nursing home they had to pay a penalty. Many childless seniors had spent all their savings. They had no money to leave, and those with children felt too old and burdensome, afraid they'd be a drag on their family, so they stayed as long as they could. Then came mealtime. I was even more shocked. Despite my yearly $1 million food subsidy, the seniors were eating bland food like boiled water, and had to pay $30 per meal. When I looked up at the staff's meals, they were eating meat and fish. That moment I finally understood. All my funding had gone into the caregivers' stomachs. Then an old man who couldn't afford the meal fee was handed exactly 7 dumplings with a scowl. He counted them and said 7 was unlucky. Asked for one more. The caregiver cursed him, said he was already near death, and mocked him for being an old man abandoned by his kids. The old man was so furious he smashed the plate, but the head caregiver arrogantly walked over, picked the dumplings off the floor, and forced the old man to eat them. He was clearly scared of her, so he had no choice but to obey. At that moment I stepped forward to defend him, but the head caregiver signaled her assistant. They rushed over and pinned me down, then tried to shove the dirty dumplings into my mouth. The old man couldn't bear to see me suffer for his sake, so he ran over and ate the dumplings one by one. But then the head caregiver announced a new rule, said the group inspection was coming, and that the home had a huge financial deficit, so the elderly would now share the burden. From now on, air conditioning, bathrooms and showers would all cost extra. The seniors completely broke down. They regretted ever coming to the nursing home, said they spent their life savings in just 2 years. I couldn't take it anymore and immediately messaged my assistant, told him to launch a surprise investigation into the nursing home.